What's up guys, welcome back to an all new episode of Lay It Omni, the show where you guys give me general trending topics to talk about and I in return lay it on you. Today's topic comes from a topic that's been circulating the Smashverse thanks to an article from Kotaku. The question presented, what stops women from going pro in esports? The article was created due to the most recent E3 announcement that revealed 8 Smashers chosen to be at Nintendo's Smash Invitational, none of which included any females. I won't go into any more details about the article, but let's just say it was a Kotaku article. What was equally as bad was that there were a lot of responses where people would just quote retweet the entire article and respond with just the word men and left it at that. That's basically what happened in a nutshell. So I'm going to be frank, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not here to speak on behalf of all women and their experiences, but I will speak as a man who has been in a tournament scene for over a decade, who has interacted and built friendships with said women. The truth is that what ultimately stops women from going pro in esports is what stops anyone of any gender from going pro. A lack of skill. When you cut it down to the bare bones, skill is everything. If you have enough of it, you will go pro. If you don't, you won't. Skill is the one defining factor in competition that shows absolutely no bias. To add, I'm a firm believer that women in gaming can go pro with less skill than the average male due to the fact that above average skill women are much more rare in comparison to men. This is not to say that they have an advantage over men, but brands simply wish to diversify their portfolio as best they can, and a pro female athlete would always make a great addition. What I dislike about the Kotaku article is that, in my opinion, it paints females as weak or less than their male counterparts. Like, by being a female, you are essentially handicapped, and acquiring the same skill as a man is less accessible or less obtainable. If the last past years have said anything to you, the fact is that women are strong and powerful. When it comes to going pro in the gaming realm, they are equally as capable of doing so as their male counterparts. However, yes, there are barriers in the gaming realm that swayed amateur players from going pro. Women, for example, have to deal with sexist, childish assholes who judge them by their gender and not their skill. They get harassed and bullied in Twitch chat non-stop, and even have to deal with these douchebags at live tournaments when they get brave enough to pull disrespectful stunts in real life, either verbally or even physically. And while I believe the majority of men in the gaming realm value the female counterparts and seek to protect and nurture their existence in the gaming realm, there's still enough dickbags around to make the esports experience unpleasant and sour for them. These barriers are unique to women only, but there are other barriers that exist for other people as well. If you're black, you've probably been called the N-word at least a dozen times yesterday. If you're gay, you probably received odd looks and have been made fun of or have players avoid you due to their homophobia. If you're a little on the thick end, you've probably been made fun of your weight and your looks. If you're a normal looking white male, well, actually, nothing has probably happened to you. Normal looking white men are usually immune to insults.
Prick. Watch where you walking, bitch!
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white!
Where you going? Don't you ignore me!
I'm kidding, okay? Relax. Unfortunately, there's a realm within esports that includes a toxic community of people who will relentlessly attempt to tear you down because they're so unhappy with their own life that they just need to bring someone else down to their own level. In the end, if you are one of these minority groups, the toxic community can and will dissuade people of these traits from trying to progress and level up and compete to become a pro athlete. If it's gender, it's sexism. If it's race, it's racism. If it's sexuality, it's sexual discrimination. It just so happens that because the gaming realm is made up of predominantly men, that they become the common denominator in every single one of these equations. So let's stop and ask and answer the right questions. What stops women from going pro in esports? For women who are currently competing, it is their lack of skill and ability to access it. What barriers are in place that dissuade women from wanting to gain that skill? Sexism. Why are there so few amateur female athletes going pro in esports? Because the population of male competitors vastly outweigh the population of amateur female competitors, which reduce the chances of highly skilled female players coming to the light. And last but not least, why are there so few amateur females in the gaming world in general? It's mainly because of the way how society has portrayed gaming to be more like a male hobby over the decade and years of assigning genders to specific hobbies. And there's your answer. Make no mistake, as men, we hold a responsibility to cater to the women in our community, not in a way to treat them like special snowflakes, but to ensure that they are being treated as equals. If we want more women in gaming, then it is up to the current population of gamers to create a space that does not discriminate against them. The same applies to all minority groups that I've mentioned. The toxic that pours from the gaming realm is just simply ruthless. It's unbiased, and truth be told, it won't stop existing as long as hate exists, and we know that hate ain't going anywhere. If we're going to combat it, it is crucial that we understand who we are fighting against and not create any unnecessary divides due to a generic quote retweet that answers nothing in depth. Anyway, that's all I have for you this episode of Lay It Omni. You've just been laid. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'm very open to all ideas and interpretations. I do feel like that this is not a man versus woman issue. I've made a lot of videos in the past that talks about the toxic that is just involved when it comes to the gaming realm. And for some reason, it just seems like no one is immune to just being smashed apart by it. Most importantly, I do want men who are listening to this video to understand that when women say that men are the issue, they are partly correct. It doesn't explain or go into detail or describe the entire situation, but when it comes to sexism, the only way that they can be affected by it is by men. So don't make the mistake of thinking not all men, when yes, of course it's not all men. It's never all one certain type of people when we talk about these things. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And before you leave, please hit the bell notification on your way out. This is Omni signing out. I love you guys. Have an awesome day.